The RSU has designed the following video to demonstrate how to use the MARS system to write up the appraisal summary in conjunction with some appraiser role play with one of our existing GP appraisers and associate dean. Okay, this is the home page. What you can see here is your availability, which will be set on the left. Any new appraisal requests will come into the top box there. If you have appraisals which have got a meeting date available, they'll be there. These are people who've requested to have a meeting with you that you haven't agreed yet. As you scroll down, you see where appraisal meetings pending. This shows that you have a meeting with this particular doctor on this particular date. If you've created summaries that haven't been finished or haven't been agreed by the doctor, they'll be in the summaries pending box at the bottom. These boxes on the left show your appraisal quarter, how many appraisals you're meant to be doing. If you go to the top and go to My Appraisees, they will have a list of all the appraisers. So if you have other people on your list that you haven't appraised as yet, they will be along there. We have one doctor there on our appraisal list, and there's a number of buttons going across. First one, if you click on that, it brings up the doctor details. And these will be demographic details, useful for phone numbers and email addresses, and any previous appraisals that they've had. Next button brings up their evidence, split up into domains. To access that, you have to click on the blue arrow. Click for that. It gives you that this doctor has got 2 entries under knowledge, skills and performance. This is her self-assessment, 1 credit. This says it's a personal and shows that she's uploaded or documented that she has a certificate of attendance. The evidence review is a useful button. If you click on that, you get a snapshot of all the evidence the doctor's put. So in this case, the doctor has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different entries, and it tells you which domains they're in. If you click on Expand All Forms, you can see the entries in more detail. Shows the certificate for this entry, what type of document it is. If it had been downloaded, it would have been there as a download file. This person hasn't downloaded the certificate, so there's nothing there. Another view for this is a printer-friendly view. And that's just a little bit easier for you to see the entries. If the entries are large, this can be quite a good print screen to get a print of all the entries for you to read at a later stage. And if you want to print it, you just press the Print This Review button, top left. Go back to the normal view, it goes back to that. If you click back to Summaries, it'll go back to that. Revalidation page will give the doctor's current revalidation state. This is the year in question, and as the appraisal progresses, these will change to green. So you can see that we have validated this is 50 credits and it's become green. And I'll show you how to do that in a moment. If they have patient and colleague feedback, that will be documented there, and significant events documented in this area, and quality improvement activity documented here. Click on a significant event through the revalidation page, will bring up the event there. If you click on the evidence button, it then gives you the significant event, but after the appraisal it gives you the option to say whether it needs more work or whether you've verified it. And once you've done that, it'll go on to the revalidation scorecard. If there is nothing there, it means that they haven't put anything in the quality improvement activity. So you know, for significant events, quality improvement activity and the feedback need to be on specific revalidation templates for that to be verified. Creating an appraisal summary, you use the summary review button. Just before that, this is where you validate the credits. So if you thought the person had 10 credits, you put a 10 in there. 50 credits, 50 there. To create a summary for an appraisal, you click on the summary review button, which will bring this up. Now, as you can see, there's nothing in any of the domains, and to get information into the domains from the appraisal form 3, you have to press the edit button on the right hand side. This doctor has 2 entries. If you press on the evidence, it tells you what evidence the doctor has put. If you go to the bottom and press copy all, that transfers the evidence. Supporting documentation, if you click on that, it tells you there's a certificate of attendance. If you press copy and then close that down, you can see the supporting evidence is entered there. The next one, if you copy everything and the supporting documentation, there is no supporting documentation there. Sometimes you do have to wait a few seconds depending on the internet connection. The supporting documentation can take up to 10 seconds to load. Close the forms there. Very important that you scroll down to the bottom and you save and return. Otherwise they won't be transferred over. If you now look at the summary page, you can see that 2 entries have been transferred over. If you follow down the summary page, you can do the same for each and every. So if they got safety and quality in domain 2, you press edit, it shows you there's a significant event there. And again, you can copy the whole significant event over and any supporting documentation. Again, there's no supporting documentation for this entry. Again, most important, scroll down to the bottom and save. Now you can see that you have in domain 2 a significant event. And likewise, you can do that for all entries. Trying to create the summary folder. If a doctor has too many entries and you don't want to transfer them all over, you don't have to. Further down at the bottom of this page, you have constraints, where the doctor will have put their own constraints, and appraisal discussion. Again, that is after the appraisal or meeting. You put edit appraisal discussion notes, and you can here put in whatever notes that you have made from their individual constraints, and again save. Scroll further down to the bottom. You have the doctor's probity, health, complaints, directives. Again, the doctor will have agreed or disagreed, and you can put your own comments from that by pressing the edit button. Likewise with the patient satisfaction questionnaire and the colleague feedback. This doctor has a colleague feedback, so she's uploaded it. If you click on the button there, you can download the feedback and see the doctor's feedback. And this is the doctor's reflections. After the appraisal meeting, you would put your comments there after pressing the edit button and transfer to the scorecard and save. Right at the bottom you would have the doctor's personal development plans. There we have, these are two agreed from this appraisal. There you'll see previous appraisal PDPs, additional appraisal PDPs doctor has done during this year since the last appraisal, and aspirational PDPs. These are PDP entries that the doctor may not complete this appraisal or the next, but aspires to do so. Once the summary page has been created, you can use it to your advantage by making some discussion notes for the actual appraisal meeting. To make those, and also to make your entries after, you press the edit button on the right. You can close that appraisal forms button there because they've been transferred already. And you can have your own notes that you can take away. So you can put into this box, need to see certificate. And that can form part of the summary prior to the actual appraisal meeting. You need to save either as you go along from that button there, or when you've finished documenting all of this domain, you press save and return. We save that. We can now see that we have a summary which has got the doctor's entry there, her supporting documentation, and also notes that you've made that may be a prompt for the actual meeting. What I would do from this stage is once you've completed that for the whole summary, you print that, and you can just go to File, Print.